Vermouth, in my past life, had various concubines other than his first wife. Eugene sits shirtless in a rustic room, wrapping bandages around his muscular arms and legs. He ponders the past. He didn't used to be the type to chase after women. Did he change his mind after getting old? I understand, since he's human too, though. A diagram of a family tree appears, glowing with blue and pink figures. It separates the lineage into a direct line and a branch. The only families that are considered the direct line of descendants are the children of the first wife. Even with the same last name, Lionheart, Eugene's family is considered an indirect branch, and families within the branch are forbidden from training their mana and using real swords before the blood succession ritual. Eugene stands before a weapon rack, reaching for a simple wooden training sword. In the training yard, Eugene unleashes a flurry of strikes. He moves with blinding speed, his wooden sword leaving trails of purple energy as it smashes into a training dummy. The force of the blow is so immense that the wooden blade shatters upon impact, sending splinters flying. Eugene stands amidst the debris, his back to his father. His father, a burly man with a gray beard, stares in shock and fear. "You've broken it again?" Eugene turns his head slightly, his expression innocent. "Father?" The father watches Eugene grip the remains of the sword handle, his muscles rippling with tension. How is that the body of a 13-year-old? To be honest, I think I will lose if I were to fight him hand on hand. The father looks at his son, whose eyes are glowing with an intense golden light. A dark aura seems to surround the boy. "Eugene, he is my son, but sometimes I am afraid of him. He does not speak or act like a child. There is no innocence to be found in those scary eyes. Even though he lost his mother early in his childhood, he has never missed his dead mother once." Eugene kicks the broken stump of the training dummy in frustration. The town's blacksmith's skill is absolute trash. He holds up the splintered hilt, his eyes wide with intensity. Selling a piece of trash like this for money? He should be whipped as punishment. "But father, you are too generous." The father coughs nervously, trying to diffuse the tension. I will give him a warning." Later, the sun shines brightly over the Lionheart estate. On that note, the blood succession ritual is tomorrow. Eugene stares ahead, his expression bored. Blood succession ritual, a shitty Lionheart tradition held every 10 years. An image appears of a large group of children gathering under a massive banner bearing a lion's crest. All children from ages 10 to 15 from both direct lineage and branch gather at the head family's home for the blood succession ritual, and they all compete to see who is worthy of the last name Lionheart. A montage shows children fighting fiercely with swords, bows, and hammers. But unlike the branch families, the direct lineage are allowed to use real weapons and train their mana. In conclusion, they're just making sure that the branch families are unable to do better than the direct lineage. The father stands alone in the yard, looking down at the destroyed training equipment. "Eugene has great enough talents that I cannot imagine him to be my son. If he had been born into the head family, no. Only if he took after me and wasn't talented, he wouldn't have to feel the discrepancy between reality and his talents." Eugene notices his father's distress. "Father, why do you look that way?" Father wipes his eyes quickly. "No, it's nothing." Eugene looks at him skeptically. "No, my ass. He's definitely berating himself right now that he's not a good father."
The father grips Eugene's shoulders tightly. "Eugene, never compete with the children of the head family. However talented you may be, you won't be a match to the main family kids that learned with real swords and trained mana." Eugene smiles brightly, grabbing his father's hand reassuringly. "You got it." Eugene turns away, his face instantly shifting to a dark, arrogant smirk. As if, it's just a skills competition with a bunch of 10-year-olds. Too tedious. It makes me sigh. Eugene walks back toward a fresh training dummy. In this blood succession ritual, there are 3 from the head family and 6 from the branch families. Silhouettes of the competition appear: a lone boy, a pair of twins, and a hulking figure. One of the 3 from the head family is the son of the first wife, and the other two are a concubine's twins. Eugene prepares for a strike, and aside from the two from pretty high authority branch families, the rest are just losers. He swings his sword with devastating power. Purple energy explodes outward, obliterating the dummy completely. Let's see just how good the descendants of Vermouth the Great are. A carriage departs from the estate, carrying Eugene toward the main family's mansion and the challenges that await. Eugene leans against the carriage window, his chin resting on his hand as the landscape rolls by. His mind drifts back to a time long ago. In his past life as Hamel, he truly believed he was a genius. Flashbacks reveal a young red-headed Hamel standing triumphantly over a pile of beaten street thugs, wielding a wooden sword with a confident grin. He had never found it difficult to learn new things and always improved faster than anyone around him. But that confidence was shattered when he met him. In a memory deep within a forest, a frustrated Hamel screams at a calm, silver-haired warrior. Hamel demands to know what the man just said. The warrior, Vermouth, simply replies that it is a shame, claiming Hamel could be stronger if he just tried a little harder. Enraged, Hamel shouts back that he is swinging his sword to the absolute best of his abilities. He realizes then that he isn't the true genius. He warns Vermouth not to judge others by his own impossible standards. The face of the true genius fills Eugene's mind. Vermouth the Great, a man skilled with both magic and the sword, nicknamed the God of War and Master of All. He was a duke in the Kiel Empire before retiring, praised as a hero until his dying breath. Eugene sits in the carriage, his expression darkening as he thinks about the rest of his old party. He recalls Senya the Wise, the little wench who became the youngest Mage Tower Master in the history of the Mage Kingdom, Aroth. Then there was Anise the Faithful, a woman Eugene considers to have rotten insides, yet she is revered as a saintess in the Holy Empire, Eurus, complete with scriptures of her teachings. Finally, there was Moron the Brave, the idiot who somehow managed to establish a kingdom named after himself. Eugene's hand grips the velvet armrest of the carriage tightly. They all lived good lives until they died. But a burning question consumes him. If Vermouth promised to defeat all the Demon Kings, why is the Demon King still alive? He remembers the moment of his own death in the Castle of Incarceration and the vow Vermouth made. That promise ended the war and brought 300 years of peace, a peace that persists to this day. Inside the carriage, the silence is broken by Lord Gordon, an older man with a mustache sitting opposite Eugene. He remarks with a condescending smile that Eugene must be nervous, warning him that if he's already anxious, he will struggle at the Patriarch's mansion. Eugene masks his annoyance with a polite, cheerful smile, thanking Lord Gordon for the advice. The carriage passes through a gate into a lush green forest. Gordon announces that they have entered the Lionheart property. Eugene instinctively stands up, but Gordon waves him down, laughing that there is no need to prepare yet because the estate is so massive that the mansion is still far away. Eugene sits back down, thinking to himself that Gordon is awfully smug for someone who doesn't even own the land. Eugene asks if such a large estate isn't inconvenient. Gordon explains that there are several warp gates for travel, so it isn't an issue. When Eugene pointedly asked why he is stuck traveling by carriage, Gordon offers a smug, apologetic smile, explaining that Eugene hasn't been granted permission to use the warp gates yet. Eugene forces another smile, hiding his irritation. Finally, the carriage rolls to a stop before a magnificent, towering palace adorned with blue and gold banners. They have arrived at the Lionheart Patriarch's mansion. Gordon steps out and gestures grandly toward the entrance. Eugene steps down onto the pavement, his golden eyes sharp and focused as Gordon formally welcomes him, addressing him as Sir Eugene.